Hi and welcome to the Running Channel. I'm Anna and I'm off to go and film the next in our Running With series. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to the Running Channel already, hit that button below so you get notified when we upload new videos. You can see it's quite windy today, so we're going to have a bit of a windy run with Susie Chan. Now she's an endurance athlete, she's no stranger to running races that last for 24 hours and more. She did the Tooting track where she ran around a track 24 hours. She's done the Marathon des Sables 4 times. Honestly, she runs more than anyone else I know. So really looking forward to catching up with Susie and asking her about all things running. Well, welcome to the next in our Running With series, and I'm joined today by Susie Chan. Hi Susie.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for coming to join us. It's a bit blustery today.
It's the visor might have to come off.
Well, so we're here to chat to you about running, obviously, on the Running Channel. I've got loads of questions for you because your story is so fascinating. So, first of all, for anyone who doesn't know, how and when did you get into running?
So I got into running when I was about 35 years old, so quite late. I wasn't a runner. I used to like sitting around, drinking and smoking, being lazy. And my younger brother wanted to tick off a marathon off his bucket list, his life bucket list, and basically cajoled me. That's the polite way. It's a half marathon, a local half marathon.
Yeah.
I was at that sort of time of my life where I needed a bit of a kick up the arse, so
Yeah.
I agreed, and then started running. I had no idea what I was doing, not a clue. And that was back in 2011.
Okay.
2011.
Yeah.
And I genuinely didn't realise how much it was going to change my life. I mean, it's completely changed my life.
So from there, did you do the marathon with him?
I didn't do the marathon with him, no. I mean, that just seems ridiculous. I did the half marathon with him, and I can remember I'd sort of run up and down the road to Tesco's and back, not really knowing what I was doing. I got up to about 8-9 miles.
Yeah.
I can remember doing my first run, trying to run, I don't even know how long it was, I didn't have a watch, twice around this field and not being able to do it. But I turned up to the start of this half marathon, and I found out it was something called a trail race, and I was like, what does that even mean? I don't know. Completely clueless. I was nearly last, but I couldn't. But I didn't care, because when I got to the finish line, I just felt fantastic. I couldn't believe I'd run like 30 miles. It was a long way.
Yeah.
And it just kind of opened this door into this world of running, and I just wanted more, and started doing 10Ks, more half marathons, and then a marathon, and then it's kind of escalated in quite a short space of time to ultra marathons.
Yeah.
And I'm still sort of trying to find out where the end is.
We see that you're running with your phone in your hand, Susie.
I
You
know.
always have your phone
I
on you.
normally have a phone in one hand and my GoPro in the other.
You are the queen of running selfies, Instagram videos when you're out running. I mean, running has really sort of taken off on Instagram, and lots of people sharing their running stories and experiences and stuff. What is it about, that side of things that you sort of got involved in? Why did you?
Well, I didn't. It was never an intentional. I think I started out on Twitter, and I spoke to Twitter first because I genuinely had no clue what I was doing.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even know what a trail shoe was. I had no. So I was asking all these. I was using this, social media. So social media can be, it can get quite a bad press.
Yeah.
There's lots of, and there's lots of nastiness out there and people being down. But I found that the one community that is really like that is the running community.
Yeah.
Very, very supportive. And so I went to Twitter first, started asking loads of questions about running, and got lots of support. And I started chronicling my journey on Twitter, and then later Instagram.
Yeah.
Not at all strategic, just being quite honest. Because running is ups and downs, and then it just kind of it's just been really, really interesting because in the time I've been doing this, running that is,
Yes.
the landscape has changed a lot. So much, you know,
Yes.
so much. And it's kind of changed my life in that I no longer work full time up in London and commute.
Yeah.
And I sort of do the running thing full time, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm 43 years old, you know. To have a sort of career change like that it surprised me. It's probably surprised everybody around me.
Yeah. And what were you doing before you?
So I spent 20 years working in the museum and gallery sector in London.
Yeah.
So I used to work in museums, worked in the British Museum, I worked at South Bank Centre Hayward Gallery.
Wow.
And latterly at University College London,
Yeah.
doing exhibitions. So when you walk into a museum and you see an exhibition, I sort of facilitate that, looking after objects.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's fascinating.
It was a
I
nice
didn't know
job.
that. Yeah.
It was what I wanted to do when I was a child.
Yeah.
And so I worked towards it and did it for 20 years. And I have to honestly say, it's a great job.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a great job. But then when opportunities come up, you know, I've still got 20 years experience doing that. So when people get bored of me, I can always go back to it.
I mean, coming back to the social media thing there as well, I mean, you know, you talk about the supportive community, the running community on social, which is absolutely mind-blowing, especially as a beginner. I had the same experience when I started, but I think there does tend to be that sort of negative side of things, and you must get that because you put yourself out there.
Latterly, I think it is a shifting environment. You know, companies now, they want to reach the audience
Yeah.
that they want to reach. They're selling a pair of trainers, they want to reach their audience. And you've got to think about the way in which advertising has changed.
Yeah.
So 6 years ago, you'd put an advert in a magazine.
Yes.
And now, obviously, there's a lot of people running on social media, and so they will gift them the shoes.
Yeah.
And they'll go running. And the difference being is that they can, basically, you can analyse, you can see, you know, it's going exactly to where you want it to go to, and they can analyse their statistics. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a shifting world.
How do you cope with the negative comments though? Because that must be quite hard.
Do you know what? I'll probably get them now. Actually, I seem to swerve them quite well.
Oh, great.
I
Oh,
don't really
sorry. I'm just assuming there that everyone gets negative
No, I
ones.
don't. Do you know what? I actually don't really.
Good.
I've been quite
Well
lucky.
done, people.
Being nice to me.
Yeah.
And I think that there is an area out there in social media where people do, you know, might not necessarily be as super fit as they portray.
Yes.
But you know, I mean, you'll see it if you follow me on social media. You know, everything I put is out on Strava. You know, it's all. I just do it.
Yeah.
So it's
You're
not
really
like,
open and really honest
well,
about
yeah,
it.
you know, I run. If there's a photo of me running on Instagram, it's pretty much, you know, it's there. I document everything.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So you are
I
the
mean,
queen.
If anybody was negative, then that's absolutely fine. I think as you get older, you get a bit more thick skin. So,
Yeah.
you know, you're not going to please everybody all the time, are you?
This is a
And that's absolutely fine, buddy.
great way of thinking. So when we have our running widths, we do a little quickfire session. Don't worry,
Okay.
it's not too difficult.
Good.
So I'll ask you either ors and you pick which one. So do you measure your runs in miles or kilometres?
Miles.
Always miles?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I actually don't understand. I'll look at people that have done it in kilometres and I can't work it out.
No, me either.
And so sometimes I've done races in Europe and in kilometres. And in a way it's quite nice because you don't really know, you're just like oblivious.
They're just counting up.
the
And they go by a bit quicker as well.
The end is where the end is, isn't it? You know?
Brill. Do you run with music?
Sometimes, yes, I do actually. Never in races.
No.
Never in a race. I get too distracted. Actually, I'll say that. They have come out in a couple of dark moments deep into an ultra where I've needed a bit of a pep up.
Yeah.
But yeah, training from by myself, I probably will, yeah.
Yeah. Do you have like a particular power-up song that really gives you that boost? You say like in the dark moments of an ultra?
No, not really,
No.
no.
Just whatever comes on.
Quite eclectic taste.
Yeah.
So, you know, it could be like a, I mean, I'm a sort of grew up in the 90s, you know, my teens, so
Yeah.
there's quite a lot of loud indie.
Yep.
But in the same token, there's quite a lot of dance.
Yeah.
And as I've got older, it's got very poppy.
Yeah.
Very poppy.
Nice. And when you go out for a run, do you measure your runs in time or distance?
Distance actually, but I'm trying. I've been hanging around with people who do it by time.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying it because it just seems to, you know, when you have those runs where it's like it's never ending and you're only like doing like 5 miles or something.
Yes.
It can seem a little bit easier in some ways. In that same sort of kilometre mile thing, I'm just like, well, I'll be back by 1 o'clock or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm enjoying the variation.
So round about this time of year, it is peak long run season for spring marathons.
Yes.
So what advice could you give to people watching the running channel who are coming up for their first marathon?
So I have, not this year, I've been a London Marathon pacer, official pacer, and I would say if it's your first marathon, but just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it. Don't get too hung up on your finish time and really try and enjoy it. And I think probably the most crucial thing, having been a pacer, is don't go out too fast. It is such an exciting thing being on the start line.
Yeah.
Being surrounded by people, and the atmosphere is always great. And it is really difficult to sort of stay in pace. So
Yes.
give yourself a goal. Give yourself a goal for 6 miles, half marathon, and stick to it. Don't worry about anybody else.
Yeah.
Don't worry about anybody else at all. Have your plan and stick to your plan. And don't worry about all those people legging it off, because if you do it properly, you'll catch them.
Definitely. And as a pacer, I mean, you must see so many people cross the line in the time that they were after because you've helped them stick to the pace. How does that feel? That must be amazing.
Do you know what? To be really honest, not many people stick with you from start to finish.
Oh, really?
Not many do, because it's quite tough. And then you have this kind of strange, as you're running along, you have a great big flag on your back.
Yes.
And I always do sub 4,
Yep.
which is a big time for people.
Yeah.
And then people will look up and they'll be like, oh, and they'll try and run with you. Unless they've started with you, that you're not going to get in that time. But there have been a few who have got over the line. And it's just lovely. It's really lovely. And I'm very lucky. I felt very lucky to be able to help people in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. And speaking of pacing,
Yes.
and I'm afraid it comes back to the tooting track race again because I'm
Okay.
just fascinated. Did you pace yourself there? Did you know roughly how long you wanted it to take you to do those 400 metres?
No.
Was it just gets to 24
it
hours?
was more like by hour, but every sort of 4 hours I wanted to have a certain distance done. And I really dipped in the middle.
Yeah.
On tour. And then actually they give you, at the end, you get your split times for every 400 metres. And my fastest 400 metres was, I think, at 99 miles. And it's that thing, when you're just like, the end is near.
Yeah.
And I was getting faster and faster towards the end. I really wanted to break 100. And it was touch and go with Hollywood, and I was also chasing somebody down, and you can see them all the time because they're there.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I've got to try and chase these people down.
Yeah.
And so I got a bit faster towards the end. But no, I mean, you just kind of go in, because you don't know what's going to happen.
No.
Kind of go in going, well, this would be nice, wouldn't it? But just running and concentrating on eating properly.
Yeah.
And sort of looking after yourself in that way.
And I think that's the thing, isn't it? Even with, marathons and ultra marathons, it's more about the number of variables of things that could go wrong.
So many variables. Even like a sort of 50-mile race or a 50k race in ultra marathons. I mean, they could be so different, the terrain. One could be very hilly, so you can't really compare one time with another, which is what I quite enjoy.
Yeah.
But there are so many variables. I mean, just something as simple as the rain
Yes.
can make a huge difference. It's windy, the key thing I think for those very long races, and it took me a long time to get this right, is to make sure that you feed yourself and that your energy levels and your nutrition's on point.
Yeah.
Because it's all about two things, those races. Anybody that can run a marathon, or even a half marathon, can run an ultra marathon if they want to. It's just about your head
Yep.
and your stomach,
Yeah.
and the rest will follow.
And the legs just do it. As you
Yeah.
say, you don't really think about the actual running, do you?
Well, it's sort of a side show to make sure you're getting there. Okay? I don't know. It's quite hard to explain, but yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, Susie, thank you so much for joining us
You're welcome.
on the running channel today. We've had a great time. The weather's been
Changeable.
about 4
Changeable.
seasons in one day. But yeah, it's been lovely running with you, so thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.